Hey y'all, welcome back to Ashley in Real Life. I hope everyone's having a great day. And we have come to the finale of the Ghana series. I hope you guys enjoyed those vlogs. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully I inspired you to take a trip to not only just Ghana, but the continent of Africa itself. It was such a beautiful experience, and I am counting down the days until I am back in West Africa and in Ghana, because there's a lot going on, but we will get into that as this YouTube channel progresses. Now, today's video marks the end of the series, and I am finishing with a banger because I am hand delivering my flowers to the outstanding travel company that put together this Sambra City Ghana experience, and that is EnRoute 54. First of all, they know I love them. I know that they know because I am always talking about them, and I probably told them at least 100 times while I was in Ghana how much I was grateful for them, how much I love them, how much I really enjoyed my experience even before the experience was over. That is how well of an experience I had. And I want to talk about it. People have asked me about it. The biggest question that I asked when I told people that I went to Ghana was, how was the process? Like, what did you do? And honestly, I feel like if it wasn't for EnRoute 54, it probably would have been like not as complicated, but like I just would have like had to deal with more of a hassle. And when it comes to EnRoute 54, they are a not just travel company, they are really a concierge service, okay? If you're a traveler and you really want to like not have to deal with anything, or have somebody kind of doing everything for you, or like planning everything out, like that is EnRoute 54. Let me tell you something. They told me what time to be downstairs, and that was it, okay? Everything else was handled, from drivers to dinners. Like, they took care of everything. And so we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna try my best not to make this video long, because when I tell y'all, this is my 4th time recording this video, and I feel like it's taking me so long because I just keep going on and on and on and on, and before you know it, the video is 20 minutes, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I'm gonna keep this video as short and sweet as possible, but without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing is who is EnRoute 54? What are they? EnRoute 54 is a travel company that is based in Accra, Ghana, and they specialize in curating these experiences around the continent. Now, the 54 in their name, I believe, stands for the 54 countries that make up the continent of Africa. I believe at this point they are currently operating, I believe, do not quote me, but I believe they're operating in about 20 countries. I could be wrong. EnRoute, if y'all see this, tell us how much countries y'all are operating in. But yeah, they are, I'm gonna call them a travel concierge company because I really feel like they give like white glove service. So essentially they curate these experiences. Some of them are 7 days, some of them are 10 days, whatever the case may be. But if you go on their website, and I will link their website and all their information in the description box, you can literally see their past experiences. You can see what's coming up. Obviously, we're getting closer to the holiday time, so the biggest thing right now is Deti December. I know they have a few experiences when it comes to Ghana, and they're also partnering with like Afrofuture, and you can get tickets through their experience as well. So it's really, really cool. I know that they have experiences coming up to like South Africa, Morocco, I think they just came back from. So they do offer a lot of different travel things. And one of the best things that I love about EnRoute, which I'll get to a little bit later, is the affordability. I think when you go, now for me, when I first went on the website, I definitely got sticker shock, because I was just like, who is paying all this money? But all of their trips are done in installments, so you can break up the cost of your trip potentially over like 6-7 months, depending on when they start the payments. And I think that's really cool, because the average person, like, especially if you're working like a 9-to-5 job, sometimes you can't come up with like an aggressive amount of money up front, but having that option to break it up makes all the difference for your experience. But outside from that, they are a travel concierge service. They plan everything. You literally I can speak from two experiences, because though I did buy into this particular experience, which was kind of like preset, 2 years ago when I first met them, my mom and I were thinking of planning a family trip to Ghana. And with that, we booked a consultation. We had a consultation with their operations manager and one of their other travel managers, and we pretty much just brain dumped on everything that we were looking to do, what questions we had, everything like that. And from there, they kind of build the experience based off of what you tell them to. I thought that that was so cool. I had never done a travel consultation before. And the thing that I loved the most was no question is a dumb question to them. Like, we asked a bunch of questions. Even in like this experience, a group experience that I did, we were probably asking them people 30 questions a day. And obviously there's a time zone difference, but they obviously, when the time was appropriate, they would always respond to us. But as far as it goes, it's pretty simple. You literally just go on their website, you book the consultation, and just tell them exactly what you want to do. Also tell them like what your limitations are. Let them know like, hey, this is my budget, this is what I don't want to go over, this is what my priority is, and things like that. Another reason why I feel like they're more of like a concierge service is because they're not just like planning your trip and being like, here you go. They are connecting you. Let me tell you something, okay? Come close. EnRoute 54 is connected, okay? If you tell them what you want to do, you tell them what you want to get into, you tell them, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, especially when it comes to like business opportunities, they are going to connect you to who you need to be connected to. And I feel like you can't get that when you're booking with a regular travel agency. If you're booking with a regular traveling agency, you can be like, hey, I'm looking to go overseas and I'm looking to build a farm. And they might be like, okay, well, we know of www.islandfarm.com. They have great reviews. No, EnRoute has connections, and they're not just like regular connections. It's like, these are people that are vetted. These are people that are doing the damn thing, and they are going to put you in contact with the people that can help you do whatever it is that you're trying to do. And that is a level of concierge and a level of resource that you cannot get anywhere. So don't say I didn't tell you anything. Next thing I want to talk about, which I kind of talked about a little bit earlier, is being affordable for everybody. As I've said earlier, when I first saw the price of this trip, I got a little sticker shock, because as somebody who has traveled before, and when you make your own kind of accommodations, you can kind of like, you know, okay, well, I might stay at this Airbnb, I might compromise on this Airbnb, or I might do this, or I might have travel points, or whatever the things may be. When you are planning your own trip, you can kind of like curve it to like how much you want to spend and things like that. But with this experience, because you are getting so much hands-on like help, and you are literally being catered to, you gotta pay for that. And I have no problem paying for it. Do you hear me? Like, I don't have a problem paying for it. But just when you go on their website, yes, most of the experiences are going to start in the mid to high 3,000s and go maybe as high as like 5,000, but probably floating more so in the 4,000 range. But one thing about it is you can pay in installments, and that makes the world of a difference. If you know that you are planning to go to Ghana for December because you want to experience that to December, and it is April, they plan out their experiences, I believe, like 7 to 9 months in advance. So you will know well in advance when this is happening. And that way you can look at the numbers and be like, okay, this is what I can afford. This is what I can't afford. I can break it down in installment payments and I can start paying. Or before the first payment is even due, you can save up your money to pay for the first 2 months or 3 months. But it makes a hell of a difference when you're able to pay for things over time versus having to give a lump sum of money. Now, don't get me wrong, if you got a lump sum of money, go ahead and pay that bread. But I feel like it allows more for the average person to have the experience versus just a certain demographic of people. In addition to being able to pay over time, another option that I love is the trips are typically broken up into shared versus single rooms. So if you're okay with sharing a room with somebody, or let's say you and your friends know that you guys both want to book the experience, you can pay for the shared room versus paying for a single occupancy. Now for my trip, because I didn't know the people that were going at the time, I didn't know, you know, who was signing up, and I didn't want to be in a situation where my trip would potentially be ruined because I got partnered with somebody who's crazy. I paid more for a single room. So I think it was like an extra, like, when it came down to it, it was probably like an extra like $500 or $600. But for me, I needed that peace of mind, and it ended up working out perfectly. The next thing I want to talk about with EnRoute that I love is they make their experience worth your while. They are going to make sure in those 7 to 8 to 10 days, whatever the experience is that you are getting an experience. And I feel like that's the biggest misconception when it comes to traveling to Africa. A lot of times people are like, oh, like you need to stay there for 2 weeks for your first time. And I think that is true to an extent. Like, yes, I definitely think like once you go there, you're like, damn, like 7 days is not enough, 8 days is not enough. Even though you do so much, you're like, I really need to be here for 2 weeks. But let's be real, if you're working a regular job, if you have a 9-to-5 job, you, most of the time, the average person cannot take off of work 14 to 15 days at a time unless you work a 100% remote job and you can work anywhere in the world. But for the average person, especially speaking from the average person coming from the United States of America, you can probably get away with taking 7 to 10 days off at a time. I know there's gonna be somebody in the comments that's like, oh my God, you can take off more time than that, but like, we're talking about the average person, okay? And because of that, they did an extremely good job of being like, okay, we got 7 days to make these people fall in love with Accra, with Ghana. What are we gonna do? And they did that shit. Let me tell you something. Y'all know the TikTok sound that's like bus, club, another club, another club. That's how it was in Accra. Like, there were days where we were starting the day at 6 a.m. and we had like 4 stops. Like, those days, there were days where I literally had to bring changes of clothes because it's just like the vibes are changing midday and I gotta keep up. I'm going to feed zebras at 12 and then I'm going ATV riding at 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, it literally, like, they made sure we got our money's worth on this trip. And I just feel like that's what it's about, like, especially when it's your first time to a country like Ghana, and they're so rich in history and in culture. Like, you want to experience everything kind of like at once, so that way when you do go back home, you can be like, all right, how am I gonna plan my next visit? How am I gonna do this? You know what I'm saying? And I think that that is like incredible. If you've never been somewhere, if you've never been to the continent, I do think that being able to experience a country for 7 to 8 days, it gives you just like, it gives you a good taste. Like, obviously you, like I said, you feel like, dang, like this is not enough, but they still give you so much of a memorable experience. And for that, the next thing I want to talk about is the level of hospitality and communication that we received from EnRoute 54. Let me tell you something. From the moment I clicked that link and paid my deposit, they didn't stop communicating with me. Email after email. They put us in a WhatsApp group with the other people that bought the experience. We had multiple Zoom calls to talk about, you know, what to expect, for them to do Q&A. They even, because technically we bought the Sambor City experience, so the highlight of that experience, or one of the highlights of that experience, was being able to tour up and coming real estate development. On one of the calls, I remember somebody saying like they just had more questions about the development itself. They got the developers on our next Zoom call. Scheduled a Zoom call that wasn't even on the calendar, mind you. Like, it wasn't a planned out Zoom call. They were like, okay, let us get with them and let's see how we can help you. Next thing you know, we got a calendar invite to attend a Q&A session with the developers themselves because we had questions. Okay. In the WhatsApp group, like I said earlier in the video, we were asking question after question after question after question after question, and they had an answer for everything. At one point, I was asking about recommendations for hair and nails and spas. At different times, they gave me a slew of recommendations, feedback, what to expect from pricing, and then followed up with, let us know if you want us to book it for you. Let us know if you want us to bring you there. The level of hospitality was something that I've never seen before. They really took the time to, all I could say is they took the time to really give you an experience. And I think that is what is missing from society nowadays, is nobody really cares about the overall experience. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and they're gonna throw it together. No, they wanted it done a certain way, and they 100,000% delivered on that. There was nothing that I needed that I didn't already know because they didn't communicate it to me. I'm just saying, even when we were in Ghana, they would send us daily agendas, and they were not playing. They were on time, okay? They did not run on CP time, okay? They said they were gonna be at the lobby at 6 o'clock. They were at the lobby at 6 o'clock. And speaking of hospitality, I think that one of the things that was so helpful was, okay, so y'all know when you're in Ghana, when you're out traveling, and you are going to these marketplaces and you don't speak the language, we all know you gotta pay a tourist tax. Okay, but shout out to our travel hosts, Abina and Roosevelt, because they were helping negotiate with us. There were a few times where, I'm thinking about one particular time where I was getting these bags that I love, and y'all saw them in the haul, and I was definitely supposed to pay a particular price, and my host came in, she was talking that talk, and I didn't have to pay that price, okay? So they were very hospitable. We had a few issues with our hotel. Those of us who stayed at a particular hotel, we had a handful of issues, nothing super crazy. Just looking back, honestly, just difference in culture. And they came in, okay, they talked that talk, and they got us what we needed, okay? Multiple room upgrades. They did not play about us, period. I felt like I was a cousin in the family, and yeah, I was coming home. It was a welcome party. That's just how they made us feel. I don't know how to describe it. It was such a good experience, and they were so kind every time, especially with the days that we had longer day. They had snacks, they had water, I can't even really put it into words, and this is why the videos kept being so long, because I kept detailing everything that they did. But just know you are in good hands. You are 100,000% in good hands if you book with them. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking, because literally I can go on and on and on about their level of hospitality, and we will be here for 30 plus minutes. Another thing that I like is that they give you kind of the option to be as hands-on and hands-off with the planning. When we first signed up, they let us know, especially when it came to the visas, they told us that, they gave us all the different visa options, and they also offered a service where they would process our visa for us, on our behalf, and that was an additional paid service, which I thought was really cool, because it's just doing your visa can be very time consuming, and it can just be annoying. Luckily for Ghana, in my opinion, I thought it was a very easy process. Now, you do have to send your passport to the Ghana Embassy in DC. Now, me personally, I waited until March to do that. My trip was April 1st. Was I wildin'? Yes, I was. However, the Ghana Embassy had it done. I paid for expedited, so it was fine, but I also had the option to have EnRoute do it, which I think is pretty cool. This was my first time traveling with a travel company, and I don't know if this is normalized for travel companies, but our travel hosts were with us every single day. There was only one day that they were not with us, which was our free day, where we didn't have anything planned, we can kind of just go out on our own and explore. And for me, I needed that, and I was so happy when they were there with us the whole time, because it's you're navigating a country that you've never been to. Although in Ghana they do speak English, they also have a lot of other they also have their native languages that they speak, and most people are speaking their native language, but they will speak to you in English if you are speaking to them in English. But You know what I'm saying? So for me, there's gonna, like, it's such a rich country, like literally and figuratively, and I feel like you need somebody to guide you when you're in Ghana, even in Accra. Like, you need that guidance. And so having them be with us every single day to answer our questions, to recommend things, to just genuinely be our guide, even though things were planned out. Like, we had a city tour and we had like an actual city tour guide, like still having our host with us, it was like very refreshing, and it was comforting, and it made me feel like, okay, I was in good hands. Like, they're not gonna let anything happen to me, or whatever the case may be. So if you're somebody who likes to travel and like wants to have like your own autonomy, I would say that I still believe that you should give EnRoute a chance, because they are not only, like I said, guiding you, they are giving you a white glove hospitality experience, and you need that every now and then again. But if you're someone that like gets overstimulated and you don't like a lot of people with you when you're traveling, then maybe it's not for you. But I still think you should do it. I still think you should book with them, because they, like I said, they allow you to be as hands-on and as hands-off with your experience as you want to be. But I don't know, y'all, I think you should book. So but yeah, at the end of the day, I give them a 100 out of 100. They will definitely be seeing me again. I actually have a consultation scheduled next week by the time this video comes out, because I am looking to go to Kenya. It is not a secret. I am trying to relocate to the continent. And so I would say over the next 12 to 24 months, I want to take time and visit different countries that I'm interested in. And I will be using EnRoute to do all of that, because they know what's up. And I'm telling you guys, you will not be disappointed. Spend the bread, whatever Carisha said, and book with EnRoute. You won't be disappointed. Let me know if you guys have any more questions about EnRoute, about the experience with booking them. Leave your comments down below, and as always, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe as we go forward in this YouTube journey. I'm excited to share, you know, more of my travel content with you guys, but also I'm excited to share more about, you know, the process of me trying to move to the continent or have businesses in the continent. Like, I'm really excited, and I already had this motivation to do it, but being with EnRoute, having the San City experience completely revolutionized what I'm thinking and the way that I'm moving, and I'm just so excited. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.